Hello, and welcome to another episode of the One-on-One podcast. My name is Josh, for those that don't know me yet, and I am joined, as always, by my co-partner, Kathy Baker. Kathy, how are you?
Great. How are you today?
I'm good. We finally got some sun. We just had this conversation, but I'm complaining as a Californian because we have had gray days since January 1st, and it's now almost July.
You really have.
Yeah.
You were overdue. So welcome, sunshine. And is it today the first day of summer or tomorrow?
I think it's the 21st. So
Right.
that would be tomorrow. So yeah, we're good timing, right?
Yeah. It's time for the sun to show up. I'm excited about that. I'm excited you have summertime. And do you know what else I'm excited about?
What's that?
Today's guest, because I want to get to know him a little bit better. I'm super excited, Josh. And hey, Ryan.
Hey guys.
We do have Ryan here as well.
I get to be in the studio again.
Yeah, I'm excited to have our guest today, and that as a lot of companies are looking at ways to cut back, we are being innovative, we are being forward thinking, and we are looking at opportunities for growth. So tell everyone, all of our guests today, a little bit about who we're going to feature.
So he is actually joined Ryan and I in the studio. This is one of the newest members of the One family, David Romero, our Executive Vice President of Growth. David, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, we're stoked. This guy's great. We had a little shindig a couple weeks ago with Cuba, and we got to learn a little bit more about David's, what he did before Realty ONE Group, what he's going to do at Realty ONE Group, and big things are coming, wouldn't you say, Kathy?
I would, and I can't wait for you guys to share what you had an opportunity to experience a few weeks ago. And let's tell that story a little bit. We're the company of storytelling. And what we always say, Josh, is that recruiting and growing the network is telling your story, and retention is living the story that you tell. So this is another great example of our investment in people in the network to provide what our network needs to continue growth.
Totally. I definitely got to see a really, really, really cool moment with some of the people in your life that were there to support you. For those that were not there, maybe give us a little bit about who you are, what you're going to bring to Realty ONE Group, what you've already brought to Realty ONE Group, because it's you hit the ground running. So go ahead.
Well, I'm excited. I've been in the industry for 30 years. Got into this right out of college. My mom was a real estate agent. So I grew up putting up open house signs and farming and doing all that with my mom at a very early age. And then I continued on with the Century 21 brand for 30 years.
Oh, wow.
And now I've been here for about 6 weeks.
So you don't have to change your wardrobe much because the colors are the same,
right?
Or close.
Which I understand that Century 21 stole from Realty ONE. That's my understanding.
Agree.
I want to say, first of all, thank you for joining us. Thanks to your mom for introducing you to the industry and getting you to start at such an early age. And I want to say how much respect I have truly for C21. A phenomenal company. I know that's why you were with them and invested so much of your career with them. They have done so much to develop our industry and to improve the level of service. So they're a great organization too. We don't want to even cast a negative shadow on them. We're just lucky to have you, and we're glad for you to have made the choice to the new black and gold. How about that?
Thank you so much.
I think because, all of us have different backgrounds and have come from, like we were chatting off camera. I, do not have a background in real estate, but there was something very enticing about Realty ONE Group. So what was it for you?
So after I was done with my past job, I really had an opportunity to kind of look at all the models again. After having, really tunnel vision for a long time, I got to step back and look at everything that was going on. And I watch the trends just like everybody else. And you see agents leaving the traditional brokerages and really flocking to the non-traditional brokerages. So looking at the non-traditional brokerages, I looked at Realty ONE as the best in class, 100%. So at Realty ONE, agents get the best of both worlds. They are getting 100% model, but they're not sacrificing anything for that. They're still getting the tools, the support, the brand. And I really felt like that with this middle lane that Realty ONE has is the model for the future.
Would you agree, Kathy?
I do. And I would ask you to expand on that. And you saw the very same opportunity that I did with Realty ONE Group, that we really have kind of a private lane right now, a private lane for tomorrow's leader.
Yes, I really see that. With the changes that people are seeing in the industry right now, it is positioned perfectly for the future. And that's exciting to be a part of.
Absolutely. I mean, it's so nice for you to hear that, because, working on the marketing and branding team and creating content for it, I can use that copy sometimes, like within certain things that we're creating, but to actually hear it and know that it's a reason why you came to this company, it almost like it adds validity to it, basically.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the thing that's so endearing to me is knowing that when you have a 30-year career in real estate, it becomes more than transactional. And it becomes more, in your position, David, it becomes more than a commission. And it's not about having commission breath. It's what are we providing for tomorrow's leaders to ensure that not only they get their share of commissions to close, but they're empowered to keep more of what they earn, and they're encouraged to build their own business. So can you talk a little bit about, you and I have seen a lot of changes in growth. We've seen in the industry, we've seen the changes from content and information landing on the doorstep every other week in a blue book to it being readily available like a buffet to the consumer. So talk a little bit about where you might see the industry going, what you think tomorrow's leader, that was easy for me to say, tomorrow's leader, what they need today to ensure that they're successful tomorrow. Can you talk a little bit about that and what tools, resources, support we have that attracted you to the brand, more specifically?
Sure. There's so much information out there, definitely. And I think that makes the agent more important more than ever, because there's so much confusion. And I like to tell the story that I was having back pain like about 4 or 5 years ago. So I go to WebMD, right? Mm-hmm. And I go to WebMD and I'm like on this rabbit hole on WebMD. And of course, at the end of the day, I'm convinced I'm dying.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. Of course.
That's what everybody does, everything leads to that. And it's such a good analogy for real estate, right? Because there's so much available that the consumers go on and they don't understand what they're seeing. It confuses them more than helps them. So we can't think that they're not going to do that, because they are, and we encourage them to do that, right? Go do your research and then come to me, your trusted advisor, and I'm going to help you to really diffuse what that information means and how that can best help you. So that's why I think that the agents that are the trusted advisors, the ones that really can help educate their clients to make the best decisions for their families, those are the people that are in dire demand right now.
Mm. And you brought up that agents are now moving towards the untraditional brokerage approach. I realize, what we have at Realty ONE Group, but why are they like maybe moving away from the big box brands that they were once a part of for, their whole career?
So obviously the fees are a big part of that, and the agents are looking to they're working hard and they want to keep more money, like Kathy said. Mm-hmm. So, and also that the nimbleness of Realty ONE, right? Some of these big companies, it's very hard for them to implement things.
Totally.
What starts out as a good idea, and technology changes so fast, before that idea actually comes to reality, we know that technology is dead by then. And that's the clunky nature of some of the bigger brands. And it's just the nature of the beast when you have something like that. So in speaking with Kuba and the team over here, it was a very different experience.
Yeah.
Kuba says, well, let's find out what we need to do, and let's do it. And if we need to make a decision today, we can do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, that's something I hadn't heard of people, a decision maker being able to make a decision on the same day of the idea that we're talking about. And that was very refreshing.
I think I want to bring Ryan into this conversation, actually, because he's the longest tenured employee in this conversation. I've been with Realty ONE Group for almost 6 years. Ryan, what are you on? Year 35?
Oh man, we're closing in on 10 years this fall.
the reason why I bring that up is because Ryan more than me, but we've seen Realty ONE Group's like growth take off, 2017, 2018, things like really, really started taking off, but the mentality never changed. The philosophy never changed. And so even as like we are now opening in new countries every month, like I'm not seeing the business philosophy or what Kuba stands for, or what any of us stand for change, which is a pretty cool feeling as we continue to grow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And when you talk about everyone wins, that's not a tagline.
Yeah.
That's something that I see as absolutely the truth.
I agree.
I think a couple of things around that. And I think, not to harp on this, but I probably say it every other podcast, David, but I think a big part of that is because Kuba is so involved.
Yeah.
And so many in the leadership have what you and I have, which is real estate experience. And number one, we are not only able, but willing to pivot, meaning that Kuba's can be very vulnerable in that if we don't make a great decision, we go back and fix it, whether it's product, whether it's policy, whatever that is, because everyone in the network does have a voice.
Yeah.
And we don't listen to everyone, but we listen to most. And the rest of that story is that we are led by stakeholders and not stockholders. And I think, and that's just an observation of mine, because I've been with privately owned companies and publicly traded companies. And there's a difference in mentality. There's a difference in understanding who the customer is. And I think that is very attractive to me, to know that decisions that are made knowing how those decisions are going to impact independent contractors.
Absolutely. And I saw that since day one here. And that goes to the nimbleness that I was speaking of. And that's exactly because of that.
Yeah.
We love to try to bring up analogies of sports, even if it's completely out of left field, no pun intended there. But what I like, the reason why I say that is I think Realty ONE Group has such good chemistry. Like we work well. And I realize we're a huge network, but like we work well as a team. So I think we have some of the best and brightest and most talented people in the industry, but I think it's truly the chemistry that people feed off of each other and work well with each other and have found comfort and friendship and whatever else. And we now are just running this well-oiled machine.
100%. And I see it in the agents. I see it in the managers, the franchise owners, and of course the leadership team. I've been saying that there's this kindness that permeates throughout the organization.
Yeah.
And I can see it everywhere. And you can't fake something like that. This is something that is absolutely real.
And I'm really excited for you to experience one of our events, because you will walk away a different man.
So Kuba told me life-changing. So not like setting the bar high or anything like that.
My life changes every time we do one of these events.
Oh yeah. Our team gets 5 years older and years taken off of our lives. And
I am ready for it.
Yes.
I'm excited.
I want to piggyback, Josh, and expand on what you said a little bit, because I'm sitting here thinking, and I love the sports analogy, but I think also to reframe what the two of you just said is, I think you're talking about the difference in collaboration and competition. And a lot of organizations experience that competition at every level. Even sometimes I've been in organizations and been in positions that competition was felt at the leadership level. And I think, David, hopefully what you're experiencing is a lot of confidence in the brand, confidence in the leadership, and the ability for people to collaborate and not feel like you've got to compete. And that is such a significant difference in leadership, where you're feeling you can complement one another and you're not competing. And it's like you've got your position and you're secure in that position, but it's more like an orchestra. It's more like we've got this sheet music of where we want to go, and everyone's playing their part. And the beautiful thing about music is it's not one note. Right. The beautiful thing is it's true harmony, where you're doing your thing, but when you collaborate with others, it comes together as something magical. And I don't want to sound dramatic, but to me, that's is that the difference in competition and collaboration.
And that goes back to the team sports, right? Yep. We see it with the best teams, how they play together. And so I see that here.
I agree. What else do you guys want to talk about?
You guys got to throw him a curveball question. Oh, it's his first time here. You guys got to throw him some curveballs.
We've got curveball, left field. Let's keep it going.
Kathy, go for it. Ask him the usual one.
Okay. If the person closest to you said you were an animal, what animal would you be?
And why?
And why?
I've been told that I have a dog energy before.
Okay.
That I protect people. I'm loyal. I like to have fun. So I think dog. I'm going to go with dog.
I can see it.
Okay, so what kind of dog? We need to know. Are we talking talking Chihuahua?
You could go into that.
So my dog is a Chihuahua mixed with Corgi and a bunch of other things, and she's a lot, and so I think I'm like her a little bit.
All right, Kathy, I'm going to ask one that I don't even think I've ran by you and Ryan. So,
okay.
All right, you can have dinner with one person, dead or alive. Who is it?
That's a good one.
That's a great one.
The one that I go to is my mom, who passed away just a little under 2 years ago.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
And definitely would like to have one more dinner with her.
Absolutely.
So that's the first one that comes up, and I know that's it's
a great answer. It's a great answer.
But that's what I would go with.
Ryan, you have any
curveball questions? Favorite sports team? Ooh. We just got to know.
I want to ask, are you born and raised San Diego?
So I was born in Anaheim,
okay,
Orange County, and then moved to San Diego 25 years ago, something like that.
So you're an Angels or Padres fan?
I started as an Angels fan, and I was lucky enough to be there for the World Series
and
all that. Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. But then when I moved to San Diego, I'm like, okay, I can have a National League team, and it's going to be the Padres. And I have season tickets for the Padres. And
let's go. I mean, not yesterday, but let's go.
Diehard Padres fan.
So they've been a lot of fun to watch. And I took a very diehard fan, Mark Pessin, with me to a Padre game.
Yeah, he's a Dodgers fan.
He's a very big Dodger fan, and we went on Hawaiian shirt day.
Nice, the giveaways.
So know that Mark has a Padre Hawaiian shirt that you need to ask him to wear.
And it's like those it's like that neon, like green and like pink. So I have to see Mark wear that shirt. I have to see it.
But the thing that Mark and I connect on is we are both Oakland Raider fans. Las Vegas
Raiders.
Yeah. Las Vegas Raiders.
So we're both Raider fans.
Interesting.
Because I do not like the Chargers at all.
So were you an LA Raiders fan to begin with?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Nice. Respect. I respect that.
I respect
that.
Yeah. Kathy over here is college basketball. That is her bread and butter.
Awesome. And
so it's Duke, right, Kathy?
No.
I'm kidding.
She'll have a heart attack.
Let me tell you what I read this morning that you're going to find interesting, that we'll all find interesting. West Virginia's coach had an unfortunate event happen over the weekend, and he has resigned.
I saw that.
With his resignation, over the past 26 months, 4 of the 5 most winning collegiate coaches have retired.
Wow.
In the history of college basketball, 4 of the 5 in the past 26 months have retired.
End of an era.
Wow.
Think about that.
Yeah.
I think, and I'm trying to think, the 5th is probably Kentucky's coach is probably the one left standing for most winning games. So
Kathy, are we not creating leaders like we were in the past? What do you think about that in our business? What do you think about that in sports?
I think, you know what I think? I think the portal is the great example of what's happening in college sports. I think fans don't have the patience to give a coach a chance to make a difference. I mean, if you look at it, one of the greatest coaches of all times, John Wooden, I think he had 13 losing seasons before he won his first NCAA tournament. Oh, yeah. Then he won 13 after that. He never would have been given that opportunity.
That wouldn't fly in this day and age.
And is that because of money now? Because the coaches are making so much money, they expect immediate results.
It's immediate results.
That's what it is. I think it is. But I think let's take that back to the lane that we have. I want to tie that right back into what is so attractive to me about this brand, and that lane that you spoke of earlier, David. And that's the fact that that trend in college basketball is exactly what's happening in real estate. We have a brilliant, talented generation that does not have the patience, perhaps, to build the business that you and I have built in real estate over 30 years. And technology is a part of that, right? In creating that lack of patience. But we have the opportunity to really honor our baby boomer professionals and put them in a position to sell their business to that wonderfully talented millennial or Z generation and just tie a big ribbon around it. And that our lane, our Realty ONE Group lane gives that kind of opportunity and many more that other brands just can't do because they're limited by how they're built. So, I think we've got an opportunity to maybe get ahead of the trend and make a big, significant difference in the lives of young professionals, which I'm super excited about.
I agree. It's an education. We need to get out there with outreach to show them about what's possible with this career, with this brand, because I agree that there's talent out there.
And to show the potentially retiring realtor how to transition out of the business and sell that book of business.
And I know you've been working on that, Kathy, right? You've got something where we can match those people together. And I think that's a home run idea with another sports analogy.
I like it. You're gonna fit right in here, dude.
I'm gonna have fun titling this episode. Well, we are so thankful to not only have David on the podcast, but to just have him be a part of our network. It's so big for our company and our brand. And also so thankful that you are here at the Hubs because we can bring you on anytime we want now. Because literally my wheels are turning. I want to do specific episodes about some of the things that you guys have already talked about. So we are totally going to bring you back on.
I am so happy to be here. I'm so excited to be on the team. Happy to be on this podcast, and hopefully you'll have me back.
Yes.
Sir, thank you.
Thank you so much, David. Sorry, Kathy, say that one more time.
I said, thank you for being part of the family.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Thank you. And yes, we will definitely have you back on. Kathy, Ryan, thank you as always. And yes, we will see you guys soon.
Thank you.
We thank you for joining us today on another episode of One on One, a Realty ONE Group podcast. We are powered by One.U and ask if you have suggestions, recommendations, or questions, please email learning@realtyonegroup.com. And remember, pay close attention to the details. Listen to understand, not respond, and always be a resource, not a sales pitch.